A brilliant doctor who saves lives every day makes a reckless investment and loses everything. A successful engineer who solves problems for a living ends up staying in a toxic relationship for years. Or a high-achieving student with perfect grades who falls into a cycle of self-sabotage. Smart people are often excellent at constructing logical explanations, sometimes even for bad behavior or risky choices. They can make almost anything sound reasonable. But this belief can make them blind to their own mental filters. Instead of looking for truth, they unconsciously look for information that supports what they already believe. They surround themselves with like-minded people, read articles that confirm their views, and ignore warning signs that don't fit their narrative. It's not done intentionally, but the mind wants to feel secure, and feeling right is often more comfortable than discovering you were wrong. Someone can solve math problems in minutes or understand abstract theories, yet still be clueless about their own emotions or the feelings of those around them. And like all humans, they're vulnerable to bias, emotion, pressure, and fear. The key to better decision-making isn't just being smart, it's being wise. Wisdom is when intelligence is guided by humility, when logic is tempered with emotional insight, and when ego takes a backseat to growth. It's knowing that being wrong doesn't make you less intelligent, it just makes you real. Emotional intelligence includes self-awareness, empathy, and the ability to manage stress and interpersonal dynamics. Intelligence is only as useful as the awareness behind it. And the good news is, you can always become more aware. You can always become wiser. That's what separates people who stay stuck from those who evolve. Without it, even highly intelligent people may misread situations, ignore emotional red flags, or struggle in relationships. And as we know, some of the biggest life decisions, who you marry, where you live, how you manage conflict, are driven more by emotional awareness than by IQ. And the smarter someone is, the better they are at justifying and reinforcing these mental walls. This means that when they're emotionally attached to a decision, they can still defend it using logic, even if deep down, they know it's wrong. Even the smartest person can make a bad decision in the heat of fear, anger, jealousy, or desperation. Emotions can override intellect in seconds, especially when they're unprocessed or unrecognized. A smart person might stay in a job they hate because they fear failure. They might chase someone who doesn't care about them because they're afraid of being alone. These choices don't reflect a lack of intelligence, but a very human response to emotional vulnerability. And often, it's the people who learn to suppress emotion in favor of reason who suffer the most, because they don't see when emotion is secretly driving their choices. They can convince themselves and others that a toxic relationship is just complicated, that a failing business needs one more chance, or that ignoring rest is a sign of dedication, not burnout. So they gather information, weigh options, and consider every possible outcome. But sometimes, this leads to overthinking, hesitation, and missed opportunities. By the time they decide, the window has closed. Or worse, they never decide at all. The ability to think deeply is powerful, but if it's not balanced with action, it becomes a trap. In a world that moves fast, waiting for the perfect answer often means falling behind. Intelligence gives them the tools to argue, justify, and spin their own story so well, they don't even realize they're lying to themselves. People expect you to have the answers, to never fail, to always know what's right. That pressure can lead to pride, and pride doesn't like to admit mistakes. So when smart people make a bad decision, they're less likely to own it. Instead, they double down. They argue harder. They defend it longer. Not because they believe in the choice, but because they've tied their identity to being right. And admitting they were wrong feels like a personal failure, not just a misstep. These aren't just random mistakes, they're real examples of how intelligence doesn't always lead to wise choices. You see, there's a strange and often hidden truth about the human mind: being smart doesn't guarantee good decisions. In fact, sometimes, intelligence can become a trap. A silent one. Because the smarter you are, the more likely you might overestimate your thinking, ignore emotional signals, and talk yourself into decisions that don't serve you at all. Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of this paradox, why intelligent people, despite their brilliance, still make some of the worst decisions of their lives. And the reasons will surprise you. The first reason is that intelligence often comes with a dangerous companion: overconfidence. Smart people are used to solving problems quickly, seeing patterns others miss, and being told they're right. Over time, this builds a subtle but powerful belief that they know better, even in areas they don't fully understand. This overconfidence can cloud judgment, shut down outside perspectives, and lead to decisions made on assumption rather than truth. When you've been right so many times before, it's easy to believe you always will be. And that's where the fall begins, when confidence turns into arrogance, and careful thinking turns into automatic belief. Then there's the mental habit of rationalization. Confirmation bias plays another huge role. Smart people tend to believe in their ability to think clearly. Let's not forget the emotional side of decision-making. Intelligence deals with logic, but human behavior is also deeply influenced by emotion. Another hidden reason smart people mess up is analysis paralysis. They want to make the perfect choice. We also have to talk about ego and identity. Being known as the smart one comes with pressure. On top of that, intelligence does not always come with emotional intelligence. So, what does all this mean? It means intelligence is a gift, but it's not a guarantee. It means smart people are still human. If you're someone who's made bad choices despite being smart, don't be ashamed. Learn from it. Reflect. Grow.